Welcome, everybody, to another great episode of Real Life Matters. Of course, I am your host, DBoss. I'm just reminding everybody that I'm on Monday to Friday from 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, prime time night. We're on Carib Vision, 28 different countries, including London or UK. And if you're in Canada, BellFibe, channel 658. Also to the States, you can connect in through different stations and cables that they have there for Carib Vision. And if you missed any of the episodes and you don't get a chance to sit down and watch TV, you could go to my YouTube channel at DBoss Networks. You can subscribe, share, and you can watch all the wonderful guests that I've had on at your own time and whenever you're ready. All right. I hope everybody's doing their 15 minutes of laughing. I'm doing mine every day. So, I hope everybody's doing their 15 minutes. If you don't have anybody to laugh with, then, put something funny on, release those endorphins in your body, get it going. If you want it to, tone up your abs. I'm not saying don't stop going to the gym because you need this in addition to the gym. So you just keep going, doing that. If you don't have anybody to laugh with, just put something on, find something. But if it's an extreme and you can, oh my gosh, I really can't find anybody so I could do my little 15 minutes of laughing or half hour, then they do have laughing classes that you can attend. But I hope that's not the case for some people. I hope that they can, do their due diligence and find somebody. But anyways, I've got some information here from Rhoan James from Vital Fit. So she's going to tell us about some healthy snacking, and we'll be right back with my next guest.
Welcome to your vital steps to better health and fitness. I'm Rhoan James. Today we're talking about exercise snacking. It's a fantastic way to fit exercise into your busy schedule. Exercise snacking is about taking small bites of exercise throughout the day. And it could look like this, anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes of movement in some way, shape, or form is an exercise snack. You can, instead of taking the elevator, take the stairs up a flight. Or you can go for a brisk walk for 5 minutes. If you're watching TV, you can sit down and do some stretches or sit and stand to work those legs. When you're at work, do some stretches at the desk. All of that is exercise snacking. The beauty is it does not require a membership and neither do you need equipment. So take advantage of those small pockets of time that you have throughout the day to do some form of movement. You'll feel great. I'm Rhoan James, and this has been your Vital Steps to Better Health and Fitness. See you next time.
Well, we'll see you next time too, Rhoan James. And I'm telling people here that the healthy snacking is not meaning that you're going to the fridge and getting something to eat. It's meaning that you're taking a break. If you've been sitting a long time, writing novels, doing this, doing that, sitting there, get up and do a little bit of movement so your body can get some motion and circulation, and don't keep sitting there. I even have to do it myself because I get, when I'm sitting down and I'm interviewing a lot of people and stuff, sometimes I got to get up between the sessions and remember to get up and walk around. So anyways, that's all I got to tell you. But today we got a fabulous person. He's written a lot of novels. He's called the Street Author. So we're going to find out all about him, where he's from, all the novels he's wrote and published, and the whole 9 yards. We're going to find out all the challenges he's had, the successes he's had. So with no other further ado, I introduce to you Rhoan Flowers.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yes. I hope you're doing your healthy snacky when you're watching all those, doing all these books and stuff.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
And you're doing your laughing, right? So.
Oh, yes, I actually believe in that because I have some friends who we share jokes every day. So I believe laughter is one of the best medicines.
Yep. And it keeps you youthful. Notice people that you just stopped and you say, okay, all right. Well, here at Real Life Matters, everybody likes to know everybody's culture and where they came from. So can you tell everybody where you came from?
I'm from Montego Bay, Jamaica, born and raised.
Wow. Wow. So some people, you can't even say that you didn't say where exactly parish where you come from. So nobody can say nothing that you know exactly where it came from.
Exactly.
All right. So how long have you been writing novels?
I've been writing novels. Gosh. Well, I've been writing since I was going to high school, from I was a teenager, and I never quite stopped. But novels, I got into novels when I was around 22.
Okay.
It took me a while to actually publish my first book.
Okay. And what was the name of the first book?
My first book I came out with is Informer, The Wars of Men.
Okay. And what's that about? A little bit about. You're not going to talk about the book, but people get available for people to order it or no?
Yes, they are. They are. You can actually get them at here in Canada. You can get them on Indigo Chapters, Amazon, in the States, Barnes and Nobles. They're in a lot of bookstores.
Okay.
But Informer, which is this baby right here.
Woo!
My whole inspiration for this was growing up in Jamaica, and not only that, I also grew up in Montreal, like you did. So growing up, I didn't see an author of my caliber, and when I say of my caliber, I mean someone who grew up the way I did, both from Jamaica to growing up in Montreal also. So putting all those together and realizing that, well, nobody's going to tell my story like I would ever. So all that was my motivation to become an author.
Okay. But in Montreal back then, everybody really didn't say where they came from. If they came from Jamaica, they came only if people that really knew you, they knew. But otherwise, they wouldn't really know. Oh, you just come from Montreal.
That's true. That is
so, it's like you were New York. I'm just from New York. That's it. I'm Montreal.
Let's just say. But I moved to Montreal to live with my mom when I was 14, and finished going to high school and everything there. Finished my schooling in Montreal. So yes, and well,
what part of Montreal were you from?
NDG.
I thought so. I was going to say NDG, and I was like,
NDG. My mom lived in Sherwood and Cavendish, right on the.
Oh my gosh! Right in the mix of it there. I know people that still live over there.
Yes,
I lived in Lachine.
Well, you were not too far.
A lot of people grew up in Lachine. Let me tell you.
Yes. I still have a lot of friends. Well, and I have friends all over Montreal, but especially Lachine and NDG, a lot.
Yeah. At one point, there wasn't a lot of black people in NDG when we moved there, and then after everybody started, whoa,
a wave.
A wave started coming there.
True. That's true.
All right. So, what's your next novel?
My next novel after Informer. Well, let me try back a little bit about Informer. In Informer, the reason why I wrote Informer was because a lot of things that happen in life, whether it's racism or things that, a lot of black things, whether it's, like I said, us being undermined and everything else. I thought Informer was that book where I could, let's say, put all those into the storyline where it's evolving as we go on. And it was also a story which I wanted my friends to read it. And black men they don't read. So I had to give them my
They don't run either. They don't run either.
True. So I had to give them a novel that I know when they started reading it from the first chapter, they just can't put it down. So mission accomplished with Informer. After Informer, After Informer, what drove me to write my second novel was I was at a book fair one day, and I can't forget this young girl. She wanted to introduce her grandma to me, and she came up and she was so excited. Oh, grandma, can meet Mr. Flowers, and she came over and like me personally in my lifetime, I've been through a lot of tribulations, and this is why I try to advocate for certain things that I do. But back to the little girl, she brought grandma over, and grandma looked at me and was like, "Ooh, him? Like he's a criminal, basically," and grabbed her granddaughter and dragged her away, like So, but it was along the lines of I found it kind of rude, but nevertheless, because her grandmother was so happy to meet me, nevertheless. So with my second book, growing up, Informer is that biker gangster novel, rude boy novel.
Oh. Okay.
So my second book, which is Yahweh, the cover was a little bit different when I released it. This is actually, I grew up going to church like most, young Black Caribbean men. So that was my second book. It's a book about God coming back for the earth. So it's basically God versus Satan for control of the earth. So me writing this was kind of kicking the butt to grandma to let her know that, not because I'm talking about the rude boy thing. I also have a lot more to come in.
A lot more better books coming than this gangster book.
Exactly, precisely.
Yeah, but you gotta make your stuff interesting, and for people to pick it up, right? So
exactly. So that's why I write, because those who read my book, my true fans, they appreciate, and I appreciate them as well. But I like people who in my book, I'm not only I try to remind people that first, I'm an author, so I do this for entertainment. However, while doing entertainment, I still have to kick a little bit of knowledge within the pages. So it's always a good feeling when people actually come to me and tell me that I'm reading your book, and whatever it is, especially Yahweh. Yahweh is the book where I have to say I've actually had people who had problems in their marriage, and lo and behold, they go and read Yahweh, and they just learn to simmer their backsides down, and
Okay, so give us an example of one thing that you of the book that you do for marriage counseling, which you can tell us.
Well, the book is ultimately about a family that during all this war between God's angels and Satan's demons, while all this was going on, this guy was actually, his child needed a surgery. So he went and he robbed a bank at the start of when I started the book, and he was trying to get the money for the surgery. So when everything started going haywire all over the world, and him and his family, I talk about how they kind of survived everything, but it's the war of Armageddon. So basically nobody's going to really survive. So, but overall, it's that story of family, and close family, and the love of family, and yes, apart from everything else going crazy, it's that genuine family thing that gets that husband and wife back together type thing.
Okay, all right. So that's a relationship book,
so to speak.
Okay, counseling, but it's a good read. All right. So what's the next one?
After Informer 2, I didn't bring Informer. I have Informer 2 was my third book. Sorry I didn't pick it up, but
okay, it's okay.
And then I came out with my first kids book, which is the Blue Jay.
Wow.
Yes, and the amazing thing about Blue Jay and the Squirrel was, I did the story, but my sons, I have twin sons, Rhoan and Javon. They were
Okay.
9 years old. They were 9 years old at the time, and they did all the illustrations for the Blue Jay and the Squirrel. So that's the amazing thing about this book is that I did it with my two sons, and we've had. I'd say that's probably one of my biggest books I've done, and one of my most loved novel. Even though my favorite is Yahweh, but Informer. No,
He's going back there, people.
The Blue Jay and the Squirrel is that book which I did with my two sons. So that's the excitement and
Okay.
what makes it that.
So how much does that book go for? About that one, the kid that you did with your two sons?
About 1950, something like that.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fair.
Yes,
That's good.
yes.
All right. So let's go to the next one.
Yes. So after that one, I came out with this is called Mama DeVoe, the Devil's Concubine. And this is I'm from Jamaica, and
Yes.
Caribbean people, we are both spiritual. We can be everything, but you already know some people up in their voodoo business. So that is this. It's about a voodoo mistress who.
Okay.
It's time for her to retire, but the heir for her, which is her great granddaughter, was kidnapped by her mother and brought to Canada because she didn't want her daughter to take the place of her grandmother. So her grandmother had to do a little funny business and got some people to send to Canada to kidnap her, bring her back, and eventually the grandmother did not want her to. She didn't want to give her power. She wanted to just continue being the madam, the voodoo queen, and so that is Mama DeVoe, the Devil's Concubine.
Okay.
So after keep them bubbling, did not bring up. I'm sorry, I didn't bring my.
But it's okay because you didn't expect me. But you know what? No one knows all these novels. People need be cranking out these novels. That's probably. Yeah. But it's okay.
So after all that, I came out with I believe it was my second kids book, which is The Volcano King, and I did it with my boys again. They did all the illustrations, and I did The Volcano King. Yes, that's a book about it's about a tribe that is trying to. Well, it's a kids book, so I'm talking about. I have monkeys and lions in this one. So we have a tribe of monkeys who are trying to take over the entire island, but the monkey he's the leading one. He's actually from somewhere else, so his whole agenda is different from what his followers think it is. So eventually they end up capturing some kids, and the kids end up escaping, and they're trying to go back to their village to warn their parents and stuff that these guys are coming to take over their village. And so trying to escape, they end up running up this mountain. The only way to get away was a way was created for them to go into the mountain and go down, and they end up meeting the Volcano King. The Volcano King looked over the island and he saw everything that's going on, and he warned them. He told them, "Listen, go and warn your parents and tell them if they don't stop all this mess, I'm going to destroy the whole entire island." So they went and tried to warn everybody, but they wouldn't listen. The conquerors wouldn't listen. And so while trying to destroy the island, these tribe of monkeys are trying to survive. And it's another one of my, let me say one of my specials also.
Oh, that sounds quite interesting.
It is.
The monkeys. Because the monkeys, you can't put more than so many monkeys together because then they want to fight each other, right?
Exactly.
That's the only thing with them. They're very specific, or somebody has to be the leader.
Exactly.
In that thing.
After the Volcano King, I believe, I did Informer 3. Sorry, I didn't put that.
Informer 3?
Informer 3, yes, it's Informer. It's my first trilogy. It's
Okay.
actually a trilogy. So Informer 3, which is the wrap up to everything that's going on, I talk about oh my gosh, I try to emulate and put a lot of true life issues into my books, so whoever read it. So in Informer 3, we had friends who they were close friends one time, and one of the friends tried to backstab the others in order to,
Oh,
so I try to, while reading, like I said, I try to always keep my readers up on things to let them know that, yes, it's fun and it's all pleasant, but I'm also talking about real life issues.
yes. Well, that's real life. People always doing that backstabbing thing, So,
Exactly.
all
So
right.
after Informer 3, I wrote my first Western. My Western was actually a tribute to my grandfather. He passed away years ago, but as a child, I never forgot as a child, especially Monday nights, they used to have Westerns on TV for the last show before TV signs off. This
Okay.
is so crazy. Up here, TV never signs off, but as a child, TV used to sign off. So my grandfather used to love Westerns. So um, this is Black Cherokee. I actually wrote this to let my readers know that actually Black Indians have existed and still do exist. So it's a story of mine about an Indian tribe that where you have this bigot who he just wants to wipe them out, and they have to basically survive. But in order to do so, they have to get across the Mexican border. So it's a story about the cowboys and have the cavalry chasing the Indians, and the Indians have to get away. So Black Cherokee guys.
Woo. So that's the one. That's the one. Is that the last one?
No, my last one came out in November.
Oh,
And in Cast a Grudge, this book started in Nova Scotia, and it ended up in Dominion City, which is in Manitoba. And it's a book about racism. It's a book about this girl who, she ran away to Nova Scotia as a child, and she was with her boyfriend, but her boyfriend is kind of psychotic. She's mixed, and her boyfriend was white. So her boyfriend ended up going to prison, but before he went to prison, she got pregnant for him. She never ever told him about it. So while he was in prison, she met this other guy who was the love of her life, and her boyfriend came back out of prison years later, saw her it was supposed to be her fiance, and he killed him. So she ended up moving back to the little small town, Dominion City, where she's from originally. And while she's there, her boyfriend that killed her fiance, he's locked up. But his family back in Dominion City, especially he has a little cuckoo brother who thinks that, they are responsible for his brother being locked up, so he wants to take revenge. He ends up raping his niece, even though he doesn't know it's his niece and all that. And he's to take revenge. He ends up going into the only Black church in town. Chief of the church ends up killing a whole bunch of people. Her and this guy is
that can go in a movie.
This guy, his whole family was killed during the church assassination, and his brother was also. It's a fascinating read. His brother was also killed, so they both decided that they're going to go and take revenge on the only white church in town, and they go to the white church and try to take revenge. And like I said, it's a book about racism, big time, especially here in Canada. And Cast a Grudge, I came out with this last November, and like all my other books, it's available in Amazon, most bookstores, whether it's here in Chapters, and a lot of other bookstores you can find it. Cast a Grudge.
Right. Wow. So what's up next? What are you gonna be doing next?
Since my boys, when my sons, we did our first book, they were 9 years old.
Yes.
Or when we did The Volcano King, they were 11. Last Wednesday, they turned 16. So before them go turn big man,
Yes.
I think we're going to wrap up our little trilogy in kids books. So I think we'll be doing a kids book this year.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So this is what you do. Is you're just an author, you know, they said a street author. So
Yeah.
is this all you do?
No, I actually sometimes the books don't pay the bills, so sometimes I actually do some work on the side. But
Okay.
more than anything else, I'm trying to get into film because, like you heard my books, people are just dying to see them on film. And apart from that, I've written a bunch of scripts around here somewhere.
Oh, well,
So
we can't wait. So which one would you gonna put on film, you think?
not believe it or not, it's not even any of my books yet, but people are dying to see Informer on
Yeah.
film. But I've written what's it called? Oh gosh, I write so much, but I have another one that it's a nice movie I wrote. It's kind of on the epidemic that's going on today, and
Okay.
it's a nice little love story also because I like to intertwine things in my books.
Have a twister in it. A twister.
Exactly. You have to throw it in there.
All right. Wow. So are there any shout outs you want to give everybody, Rhoan?
Oh, to my sons, obviously, Mr. Rhoan and Javon Flowers. To my whole team, my family, and yes, to all my supporters, to all who support me, thank you guys very much over the years. You guys have been my inspiration and my motivation to keep going, you know. And thank you also for the consideration for being on the show today, and looking forward.
Well, this is what I do. This is what I'm here for. I'm here for y'all. Showcase yourself and people to get to know you, because plus a lot of people probably maybe you're knowing, but a lot of people they still don't know you, so they can get your books. Guys, go out there, buy Rhoan's books, buy them. They're there. It doesn't matter if you're in the Caribbean, you can still order them and they can send them to you over there also.
Yes, wherever you are. Wherever you are, you can get my books.
Wherever you are, we'll send it to you. You have Audible versions also, or is it just the novels?
I have Audibles, but not for all of them. I'm
Okay.
not sure for which ones, but some of them.
Okay.
We also have them on ebook formats also.
Okay. The ebooks. Okay, that's great. All right. So if people want to catch up with you on social media, what can you tell your social medias are or your website?
Yes, my website is rhoanflowers.com. You can also get my books there. I believe I have some of the best prices for my books. You can find me Facebook, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever site I'm on, it's always Rhoan Flowers, Rhoan, last name Flowers. And yes.
All right. Well, anyways, it was a pleasure talking to Rhoan Flowers on his journey and all his novels. I can see why he's the street author, because he just keeps creating more and more. And we can't wait to see some of these novels come into the movies.
Wonderful.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So everybody, thank you for tuning in to Real Life Matters. We're here with Rhoan Flowers. And bye for now.